There we go. Now we got the mic working. Should be on now. Alright, there we go. Alright guys, we are live now. We were going to do just a regular video, but we figured we'd just jump on here real quick and update you guys on the current situation of what's going on. So we're going to start out east here into Iowa. So across the day today, it was a warm day until about noon, 12:30, and then a round of thunderstorms came through the Sioux Falls area earlier today, and that moved off to the east, and then it turned severe for hail and some strong winds, and there was an isolated tornado on that too. There was a tornado earlier in northwestern Iowa, and that system has since continued to push east-southeast, and it's still going strong here. This is where the severe weather is ongoing. It is across eastern Iowa. So let's run through some of these warnings here real quick, and then we'll get to the Sioux Falls area here in a minute. But this severe thunderstorm warning here for northwestern DeBeek County in northeastern Iowa and northeastern Delaware County in northeastern Iowa until 9:15. Moving east at 45, 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-sized hail on that. And then this system farther down the line here, this one, 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-sized hail until 9 p.m. This is for Buchanan, northern Benton. Second, lights just went out here. There we go. Northern Benton, northwestern Delaware counties, moving east at 50 miles per hour there. And then down the line here, southeastern Buchanan County, central Benton County, northwestern Lynn County in Iowa there. So that was round one. Round two, here in northwestern Iowa, there's some scattered thunderstorms near the Spencer area and also near Buffalo Center there. Those are all moving in an easterly direction as well. So those are not expected to be severe. And then we got round three. This is headed towards the Sioux Falls area as we speak. We have these cells that have developed in the last 15 minutes that have become rather strong. These things got pretty wound up, and they are kind of in a line here, horizontal line, if you will, from Sioux Falls all the way back towards the Mitchell area, or kind of near Alexandria. Just a line of thunderstorms here, scattered line. So round one, heading towards Sioux Falls there, going to be headed through Sioux Falls, but then we have the main line here from Madison down to Salem, down to Bridgewater, Emery. So that is the current situation there. Now, don't see anything on the velocity at this point, but we'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, as of right now, I'm not seeing anything on the velocity, so that's good news. But again, we'll continue to monitor the latest here. So a lot of lightning and thunder associated with this scattered area of thunderstorm activity, and there probably is some small hail embedded with these stronger cells, where you see the red and purple colors. That is where we probably have some small hail. Now again, for the Sioux Falls area, this will be heading towards the Sioux Falls area. This is not expected to be severe. However, it is possible that they could turn severe if they continue in strength and continue building. Again, small hail would be the threats, hail up to ping pong ball sized hail, and 60 to 70 mile per hour winds are possible. Now again, that's if this can become severe, which obviously we don't want it to. Hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, that would be your threats. Tornado risk, pretty much non-existent. There's just not enough spin in the atmosphere for tornadoes. But again, thunderstorms headed towards Sioux Falls right now. If you're in the Sioux Falls area, please be aware of that and be ready for thunderstorms to move through the area. So that is the latest there. And again, these are all moving east. So eventually, once this is going to be, this isn't a fast-moving system either. This area is not moving very fast. These cells are moving slow, and so Sioux Falls has the potential of getting some good rain here out of this. Now looks like that's about it for that. Again, looking at rotation, I'm not seeing anything, and again, some small hail likely embedded with this activity, and this will continue to push east towards the Sioux Falls area. So, probably wise to take cover unless you want to be out in a thunderstorm, which I know some of you like to do, just as long as you're being safe about it. And again, this is the main line here from Madison down to Salem, down towards Menno. That's your main line. And then the storms that are ahead of it that have developed in the last 15 minutes. These have developed very quickly, and so thunderstorm activity heading through the Sioux Falls area, western side of Sioux Falls right now, and eventually will be impacting the city eventually here in the next several minutes. So that's the latest there. Now let me show you the latest model run. Let me pull that up for you guys here in just a minute here. I want to go ahead and pull up the latest HRRR. Give you guys a good update. Again, for those of you wondering about any kind of like tornadic activity, we're not expecting any of that. Some small hail is certainly possible for the Sioux Falls area as these storms make its way into the area. Let's see. All right, so let's run through this model run here, HRRR. Really, it shows this stuff dying out. So really, this wasn't supposed to develop like it has. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. So this is the current picture. Again, that main line in eastern Iowa, and then the other development in northwest Iowa, and then those cells there in southeastern South Dakota. We're expected to fizzle out as we go towards the next hour or two, but it is not. Obviously that's not actually how it's panning out. But according to the model runs, it is showing that these storms are supposed to fizzle out, and then more storms developing overnight. Tonight, more thunderstorm activity pops up kind of across our area, southeast South Dakota, northwest Iowa, Nebraska, southwest Minnesota. And then that activity will slowly continue east, and then by tomorrow, another round of thunderstorms. Let me see if I can show a little bit of a different map here. Let's see here. Let's look at the European model. And we're going to go. So again, this is tomorrow. Looks like more focused in eastern South Dakota. Looks to be the area, probably Aberdeen. Looks like the Aberdeen area over to, kind of Huron. It's going to be kind of the area to watch tomorrow for thunderstorm activity. So tomorrow, another round of thunderstorms and isolated severe thunderstorms possible. Now let me go through this here. I need to show you guys the latest severe weather outlook here. All right, let me go ahead and show you guys that now. Just give me a second to pull that up. And sorry, just trying to do this all on the fly here. First off, this is today's and tonight's weather risk. That level 1 out of 5 there in green for northeast Nebraska, southeast South Dakota, into southern Minnesota and Iowa. That is the green shaded area. Again, that does include Sioux Falls. That is for today, the rest of today, into the overnight hours. And then that slight risk in yellow, level 2 out of 5 there for southern edge of Minnesota into Iowa. That includes, Spencer, Iowa, Spirit Lake, Worthington, over into Mason City, Waterloo, Dubuque. So that is for tonight. And then for tomorrow, this is your outlook tomorrow. A marginal risk, and this is for a big chunk of our area, for most of Nebraska, with the exception of southeastern Nebraska, and then southeast South Dakota, so Watertown, Huron, Brookings, Sioux Falls, and then into Minnesota, the cities, Marshall, Mankato, and then northwest Iowa. So Sioux Falls kind of smack dab in the middle of that. Again, that's tomorrow. Now, what's interesting is, looking at this, tomorrow there actually is a tornado risk. So we do have that 2% tornado risk there in green. That is your outlined area for a chance of a tornado tomorrow. This Sioux Falls is kind of right in the middle of this, as well as Brookings, Marshall, and Watertown. So eastern South Dakota, northwest Iowa, southwest Minnesota, all impacted there. That's for, again, tomorrow for that tornado outlook. 2%. Remember September 10th, 2019, a day in infamy. We will never forget that. Anybody that lives or lived in Sioux Falls, the infamous 3 EF2s that came through, and there was only a 2% tornado risk. So, again, just because it is a 2% doesn't mean that isn't going to happen. It is always possible, unfortunately. But good news is, it doesn't look likely. Most likely not anything's going to happen. But we just have to let you guys know about it in case. Now, the hail and wind risk is minimal as well. Not really seeing a whole lot tomorrow there. 5% there in that tan brown colored area for wind, and then this is your hail risk, same thing. So Sioux Falls, again, kind of right in the middle of that. But again, that's for tomorrow. It's not going to be similar to today. Tomorrow will be a different area that will be impacted, but a lot of these, a lot of areas in our region could very well see severe weather, but it's unlikely. It's not a very high chance, not a very high probability. It's, again, a level 1 out of 5. That is the least amount of risk for severe weather that they have in the Storm Prediction Center. So, again, what can you expect in the Sioux Falls area for the rest of the evening? Again, expect heavy downpours at times, thunderstorm activity, thunder, lightning, a lot of lightning with these storms, maybe even some small hail depending. But that appears, at this time, that appears to be it for tonight's activity. And then, we'll see what happens again tomorrow. Another chance for more activity tomorrow. Now let me show another model run here. I want to get a better view of this. And I am also, before we jump off here, I do want to show you guys something else as well that I thought was very interesting today. And also in the T area right now, it is very, very dark out. It is only 8, it's not even 8:30 yet, and it is very dark in T right now. So we're under that thunderstorm, and it is very dark out right now. So did want to mention that as well. Now, let me show you guys this real quick. This is the latest HRRR. Again, that's the current picture right here. Again, more thunderstorms expected to fire up as the night goes on across South Dakota, Minnesota mainly. And again, it'll continue through the morning hours and then into tomorrow as well, and tomorrow afternoon more thunderstorms developing. This model shows something a little bit different. This shows thunderstorm activity more focused in central Iowa and Minnesota. And then more thunderstorms developing in South Dakota as the evening goes on tomorrow, and then eventually impacting Sioux Falls again. Now, let me show you guys the weather story. That's a little bit different here. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull that up here. I thought that was very interesting. I did mention it a little earlier. Let me just bring it up here. Also, we had some really nice pictures. This was earlier. This was that storm west of Sioux Falls, as it's continuing to make its way towards the Sioux Falls area. That was a picture earlier. Also, this one, a couple of other ones here. So some really nice images there. Some nice clouds earlier this evening. Now let's get to that video I was telling you about. Here we go. So this was earlier today in northwestern Iowa. There actually was a tornado that came through northwestern part of Iowa. I don't know the exact location of where it was or where this video was taken and shot from, but it was somewhere in northwest Iowa this afternoon. I don't know the exact. As you can see, that was a little bit earlier. And then let me see if I can find the one with the tornado. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can try to pull it up. Give me one moment here. Aha, here we go. So this was that tornado in northwestern Iowa earlier today. And as you can see, it wasn't a wedge tornado, wasn't your classic wedge, but it was a small tornado that came through northwestern Iowa. And as we know, these things can happen. It is June after all, so June is usually our busiest month for severe weather and tornadoes. So we are in peak tornado season right now, and surprisingly enough, we've actually gotten lucky. We have not had hardly any tornadoes this year, which is a good thing, obviously. But could be a lot worse. We have had many other years where it's been way worse. So we have been fortunate so far that most active time of the year, we haven't seen hardly any tornadoes, so that is great news. Hopefully that continues. But yeah, is video there of a tornado that went through northwestern Iowa. And again, that was earlier this afternoon. But just gives you an idea of what the weather was like today. And as we wrap things up here, let's look at the radar picture again here. Let's see if I can pull up a different view here. So this is Radar Scope, another good product that we use here at T-Storm Chasers. And as you can see, there's that cell coming through the Sioux Falls area right now. It's a pretty good storm right now heading through Sioux Falls. So pretty good cell heading into Sioux Falls at this point. Western side of town looks like getting it the worst. Probably some small hail, lots of lightning, heavy rain, thunder, and then more is coming. There's our other main line there from, again, Franklin down to Salem, Canastota, Bridgewater, Freeman, and that's kind of the next line we'll watch as it makes its way through Sioux Falls. So that is the latest there. Looking at the velocity one more time, I'm not seeing anything, which is good. However, actually now in the last couple of minutes, there might be a little something here up towards Montrose. Hard to say at this point, but might be something up there. But other than that, I really don't see a whole lot there. But we'll continue to monitor it. We'll continue to watch things here very closely for you guys. If anything does happen, we'll break in and go live again as needed. But we just wanted to jump on here and give you guys the latest weather update for this evening and tomorrow, as we have thunderstorms possible. And continue to follow us on all of our social media for more. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I hope you guys stay safe out there and have a wonderful rest of your night.